Good afternoon guys, Ollie here at Motorzone Northwest. As discussed, I've got a little video walk around here for you of this very rare opportunity to purchase a VW Transporter T5 camper. Very tricky vehicle, very cool. Obviously, if you like the colour, it's definitely one you're not going to come across very often. It's had a lot of money spent on it, a lot of modifications obviously for the camper, visuals, a lot of nice bits and pieces, body kits, etc. It did start off its life, as you can probably guess, as an AA van, hence the colour. But yeah, very unique vehicle, very unique colour, and had an awful lot of bits done recently on it as well. It has had the Sportline T6 front end conversion, so obviously the front end of the vehicle is all from the newer model, so you can see those Sportline style bumpers, all gloss black. Recently done, it was only done, all of this work including the conversion, the wheels, all the body kit, everything has all been done in the last 2 or 3 years, so everything is very fresh. Also included a full respray, so the paint is all, the whole thing is all new. It's the original colour, but obviously just to give it a new lease of life and get it looking as good as it has been resprayed. Just getting rid of any damage, any rust, any bits and pieces on it. So yeah, very well presented van for its age. So I'll start with the front end. I'll be as upfront as nice as I can. I'll show you around. So paint all over the thing is mint. As I say, you struggle. I think there's like a stone chip on it here or there, but you struggle to find anything negative, any rust or any damage on it, to be honest. So yeah, gloss black grills there, all nice and new. So yeah, everything. What you've got to kind of consider with this vehicle is you've got to throw away the fact that it is an 05 plate, because the whole thing has been rebuilt in the last 3 years, including the engine and everything. So we'll be going in for a recent MOT and a service as well in our workshop just prior to supplying it to the new keeper. But yeah, paintwork wise, literally mirrors were colour coded as well. They were black originally. A little bit of weathering on the handles, they're original. So there's the black handles, so you can either paint them yellow or wrap them or just leave them as they are, but just being up front with you on that. Obviously it's had a full glass conversion. It is triple insulated, so it's very warm, very quiet. It's an exceptionally well done conversion. We bought it off the company that do the conversions on them. The fellow that owned the company, it was his own private vehicle. He'd done it for a conversion. He had used it a little bit, very light bit of use. But most of it's brand new, never been used. As I say, it's been on a couple of outings. It was done as just as one of their projects that they do. And he actually bought another van off us to convert a base van and traded this one in for it. But yeah, so it's I'll go through the spec with you as we go around. Obviously it's got all the inlets, got everything that you need ready to rock and roll. Just drive it off, start enjoying it. So it does have an opening glass panel on this side, which has got a little sliding window, but again, the glass that they've used, the quality of it, it's all very high-end stuff. You've got to be careful when you're looking at these conversions. They can be done with Chinese stuff, cheap stuff. The rock and roll bed, everything is exceptional condition. We have done a few conversions ourselves and have plenty of these in stock. And I must say that the quality of the craftsmanship and the materials and the kits that have been used on it is exceptional. You really can tell. So the seats have been replaced. They're not the original seats that have been recovered, or I think this one has, but that one is a completely different seat. So that's got a full sports scarf there, different Sportscraft manufactured, so full tilt and recline, full captain seat with armrest, fully adjustable, and then this one's been reupholstered with the original driver's seat to match. That's obviously got the swivel base on it. Door cards are just standard stuff really. Fairly basic on the interior. Got this little checkered bit here. It does have the original cassette player and the CD changer, normal radio. We had thought about doing a couple of bits and pieces, modifications to it, putting in maybe an Apple CarPlay system with reverse camera. So that's something we can offer as well if you wanted to pimp it up a little bit. I think that will just enhance it a little bit. It has had USBs integrated into it as part of the work that's been done. So you do have full USB interface there, 12 volt sockets, 2 in the front. But they didn't go as far as changing the head units. But you can get some very cheap head units now with Apple CarPlay, reverse camera. That'll just give you a nice modern twist on the dash layout there, giving you a bit more bit more of the modern technology. So let's have a look inside. Obviously we've got the pop top up at the moment. Obviously, again, a very, very good pop top. Again, you can tell by the quality of the struts, the craftsmanship on the fiberglass. This hinge is quite handy. Some of them hinge from the back here. This actually lifts up a little bit as well at the same time. It's not in the full upright position at the moment because we haven't got enough height to do so in this building, but it's not far off. It does have full removable trim as well, so you can actually make it full open air. They just zip out, good for cleaning or just for actually just taking off. And then you've got the side panel windows as well, mesh on the side and like a clear Perspex type thing on the front there. And then now obviously the interior, obviously very yellow, very cool. But again, as I say, the quality of all this material that's been used is very, very good. You've got obviously bespoke interior to match with the Bentley Diamond quilting and the VW logos there. You've got the embossed VW logo here with the colour changing LED up in the top. And you've even gone as far as putting a fridge panel in there again with that. But yeah, very, very clean. So I've got the lid up at the moment so we can stand up and have a little look around. Does have an additional CD player here. USB, usual bits and pieces there, JVC system with the little speakers there, 6x9 style, not 6x9s, but yeah, you've got full additional amps and things like that in there for separate audio to the front. So you can tune this radio in, you can plug USB in, auxiliary, CD player, and that is completely separate and run off the leisure battery. So that is completely separate. Usual bits and pieces, a couple of little cubbies, LED downlights. You've got lit cabinets here. You've got downlight strips in here. 2-burner hob, which I believe has never been used. And then you've got the running water there. Won't run it too much because the feed on this one is the waste runs out of the vehicle, so there's a separate waste. So I can show you how everything works. Obviously you've got the integrated curtains here, which is nice. 240 inverter there, you've got DC, you've got two USBs here, which also has the voltmeter readings there. And then you've got the usual bits and pieces, which are just light switches, auxiliary switches for certain features, fridge, stuff like that. At the moment we're running a leisure battery, so there's no vehicle on, full proper rig out there with auxiliary pump, everything all fused separately. Obviously we can run it on 240 volt hookup, we can run it on the leisure battery, or we can run it on the normal battery, the vehicle battery as well, which will also have a split trickle charge on it, so when you run the car battery it does put charge into the rear for you as well. Rock and roll bed, exceptionally good quality. So this just pulls out. I have unlatched it already just to make it a bit easier while I'm doing this with one hand on my own. Normally you'd do it without a phone in your hand. So that pulls down, pushes down, and then you've got your double bed. A lot of nice storage underneath there as well. 2 extra seat belts obviously, so it is a 4-seater. And then in order to reverse that, you just basically give it a bit of a pull and then it locks back in place. So yeah, very easy to do that. As I say, I've worked with a lot of these beds and the motion on them are nowhere near as good as that. Obviously we do have a little stowaway tray table here, which allows you to put that on the rail and have your little table. We've got the lit cupboard here. So this is actually the fuel, the water tank, and then this is the water tanks here. So a very, very good system. I'll show you when we get to the back, but I've not seen one really sophisticated as this for a while. Normally they have a 25 litre feed intake and outtake there. This one's got an over-the-wheel arch kit, so it's got a massive water tank, pump integrated to it, feed for cold water feed right into there, and then you fill it up at the back. But it's a very, very cool system. Again, all part of the level of spec that it's had done to it. I've noticed a very light crack in the light there as I've just been going round. Obviously they're original, the tail lights, they are the originals, but yeah, you can pick these up for nothing. I mean, if it were me going for it, I'd probably change these for the newer ones, LED, something like that, because they're still time period to the age, whereas everything else is all new. So this is the water feed here. It's just running on low at the moment because it's only less than a quarter full. But you basically take the cap off, put your hose in there or your filler or whatever, and then fill it up, and it's a proper branded Fammer, which is obviously building the motorhome caravan equipment. So that basically goes in there, and then your tank is actually here. So you can fill it up there as well if you want to, but this filler net goes right there, and then tank goes straight there. We've got the hookups and we've got some tubes here to, if you need to fill it in separately. And then a lot of storage, that's like your little garage unit. Curtains on the back, all very well insulated. So yeah, you've got a lot of spec. That's the drain there, unfortunately, that's just run out on the from the sink. So yeah, obviously, it just runs out wherever you are, just onto the site or whatever. Which is good, because you've not got the ones that we've had before have got internal waste tanks, you've got to take them out and empty them. That just runs out the vehicle. So at the moment, obviously, we've got this on the upright position, we've got the windows open. Obviously, to create the bed, you just give this a good pull. And then you've got your big bed there. So this is obviously a lot wider and a lot longer than the rock and roll bed. Very comfy, very, very, very solid. It's a lot thicker than some of the other systems that we've seen in the past, which again is, you can tell the quality of the insulation, the sturdiness of this, the build of it. You've got a couple of little shelves here at this end, which you can utilise when you're in bed. And then obviously you've got your zip mechanism here. And then you've got your full blackout there. So this will give you full blackout. What a nice piece there for when you're sleeping. I'm just going to pop the phone down so I can pull the two handles. So that now has been completely pulled down, and your top is now flush ready to go. A couple of straps in there that you just need to put down to keep it secure. Tuck them in, and then you just strap it down, lock them tight, and then the roof can't go anywhere when you're in transit. And that's you done. So very easy van to use, all very basic stuff in terms of the technology. It's not too overcomplicated, but very, very usable. So with regards to the advertisement that you'll have seen, it's advertised with just shy of 15,000 miles. So that was when the conversion was done. The van itself on the clocks has done 231,000 miles. So as I say, it spent its life as an AA van, and obviously drummed up those miles. It was purchased as a yellow X van, XAA van, and then it's been fully converted. So it also has had, as part of the conversion, a new engine, new clutch, new turbo, new flywheel. Let's just see it there, which we've got the receipts for in here. So the reason we've advertised it with that mileage, just so you're aware, we're not trying to be underhand, we're just expressing the fact that everything is new on it. So we'll be getting a fresh MOT. But at 217,000 miles, it had clutch, flywheel, release bearings, obviously service, all the gaskets and the new replacement engine. And that was done, as I say, 2 or 3 years ago. It's all done. Dual mass flywheel, gasket set, engine oil, antifreeze, clutch, injectors. So yeah, so it's had a fully reconditioned engine, new clutch, new flywheel, new turbo, new injectors. So all the engine's been fully rebuilt, and then obviously the paint's been completely redone, and then the conversion's been done as well as part of the conversion. So we've advertised it on the advert with everything new. So that's the mileage on the camper now. The mileage on this particular newly built vehicle, the new engine, the new clutch, the new flywheel, is 15,000 miles. The actual official mileage on the vehicle itself, as far as the clocks are concerned, is the mileage on there, 231,000 miles. So just be aware of that. Obviously it will stay on those miles. We're not going to change it back, obviously. But it's, as I say, it is new. So obviously everything has been replaced for new parts and new bits and pieces. So take from that what you will. Obviously, if you have any further questions, please feel free to give me a shout and I'll speak to you soon. Thanks.